Greetings and salutations. I'm Madison and welcome to my shopping showcase video where I share with you the vintage, retro, and thrifted pieces that I have picked up over the past few months. Uniquely Madison. So first I have a couple of pairs of shoes from one of my favorite shoe companies, Vivaia. Vivaia is an eco-friendly shoe company that emphasizes recycling and using as much recycled materials as possible for their shoes. In addition to that, they emphasize stylish shoes that are comfortable. I picked out a pair of heels for myself and a pair of boots for my mom because I've got her interested in Vivaia as well. I chose the Addison kitten heel pump. This is a classic pump with a pointed toe, very small heel, so it's pretty comfortable to walk and stand in. And of course, this shoe is special because it has silver threads in it, so it sparkles and shines when you walk. I think that this pump would be perfect for any time of year, but especially the holiday season, for holidays like Christmas or New Year's Day. My mom selected a more casual option. She picked out the Ryan slip-on boots in dark chocolate. Now, since these are a bit more casual, they're going to be a wonderful everyday shoe for her. She found them to be very comfortable. So this will be probably a staple in her wardrobe, and because they are water resistant, they're going to be a perfect everyday shoe for her. So no matter what shoe style you are looking for, they have a wide variety of colors and styles, but they also have a wide variety of comfortable options to choose from. No matter what age you are, no matter what comfort level you need, Vivaia's got you covered. A big thank you to Vivaia for sending me these shoes. And if you are interested in trying out their shoes as well, I will be leaving links down in the description box below, in addition to a coupon code that will get you a percentage off your order. Moving on to thrifted pieces, I found two items on the thrifting website ThredUP. I found a brown faux leather dress that was originally from the company 𝓛𝓲𝓬𝓬𝓪. This was new with tags, and I actually found it while it was on sale, and then I had a coupon code. So originally this dress was well over $100, and I was able to pick it up for around $35. So that was a great find for me. My only complaint about this dress is the fact that it was listed as black, and it's quite clearly brown. So I was a little disappointed at that. I much prefer to wear black than browns. However, this will be perfectly fine. It's a plain brown dress, so I'll still get a lot of wear out of it. You could style this dress many different ways and many different decades. Specifically, I think you could do a cute 30s number with this or a 1970s outfit. Now, if you have seen any of my other shopping videos, you may or may not notice that they always seem to have at least one black handbag in them, so this video would not be complete without another black handbag. But in my defense, I bought this with a specific purpose, and it was also on sale, so I only spent a few dollars on it. I purchased this for when I am going out and singing. I am a singer and I have a music channel if you want to follow me on there, Madison K Music. I'll leave it linked down below. But when I am going out and singing, I realized I needed a larger handbag because most of my vintage handbags are fairly well sized, but they do not fit all of the necessities that you need to take with you as a performer. So I picked out this handbag because it's nice looking, it's still has some elegance to it. It's not just a random tote bag. It's elegant, it's a bit more formal, business formal, but not a fancy, glamorous handbag. And most importantly, it fits all the things that I need to take with me when I'm out on gigs. I still think that this will work with vintage outfits too. If I'm going out and about and I need a big vintage style handbag, I think that this was a very good purchase. Next, I have a few pieces from one of my favorite shopping sites, Etsy. Other than jewelry, Etsy has been a bit of a dry spot for me. I have not found a lot of clothing on Etsy for several reasons. I mean, shops have closed down, people are going through a lot, so some of the shops that I really liked have shut down, unfortunately. And Etsy itself has changed. It feels like vintage has become more expensive and the people with bigger pockets get the best pick, and the leftovers for people like me that are a bit on a more of a budget or just don't want to spend as much on clothes, the pickings are a little slimmer. But thankfully, I did find a few pieces just over the last month or two that I'm very excited to share with you. The first one is a beautiful kimono style overcoat or robe. This has some lace applique on the sleeves, and at the back there's also some lace. I think I'm actually going to wear this not as a robe, but as an outer garment. This is not vintage, by the way. It's from A.W. Bridal, so it was originally a bridal robe, but I have a vision for this piece. I think that this would be really cool as like a 1920s or 30s overcoat. I'll have to style it to show you what I mean, but lately I have been trying to kind of mix the Gothic style with my vintage style. So I'm looking for a lot of unique black layering pieces, and I think this will definitely do that. It will add that unique bit of texture with the lace on the sleeve and then this nice shiny satin. I also found a dress on Etsy. This is from the brand California Looks, made in the USA. It is a polyester fabric, but it's pretty light. It still feels pretty comfortable. And the main stunning thing about this dress is, of course, that dandelion or powder puff print in blue, black, and white. I spotted this so fast and it went into my cart so fast. Normally it takes me weeks to decide whether or not to buy something. This took me only a few days, so in comparison, that's a pretty quick buy for me. But when I saw this, I just knew this is a special dress. The dolman sleeves, the lack of padding in the shoulders, it's amazing how much this looks like an authentic 40s or 30s dress. I will have to get it altered because it's a tunic style, so the waist is quite flowy and a little bit too flowy for my taste. So I'm probably going to have the waist taken in a bit to suit me better. In addition to buying black handbags, apparently I have a thing for jewelry. I like jewelry. I've been collecting it since I was little. I wear it all the time, and jewelry is never far from my shopping cart. That being said, I did restrain myself to purchasing only one set of jewelry. I purchased this silver basket of flowers with rhinestones and cool-toned pearls. And with that came a set of earrings that don't match really the basket, but they're close enough. They are silver and warm-toned pearl earrings. I mostly bought this lot for the brooch because it's a very classic brooch. I've seen so many pictures from the 1930s and 40s with brooches like this, and then some of my vintage friends also have brooches like this, and I have admired that style for a long time. So finally I found this one. This was also on sale, and then, like I mentioned, the pearl earrings came with them as a set. I personally would probably wear them separately because I'm really a stickler for matching tones, but I'm sure I will get a lot of wear out of these earrings. You can't really go wrong with a classic pair of pearl earrings. My last purchase from Etsy is a magazine. It is a Vogue Patterns magazine from 1985. I purchased this to make into a video at some point in time. I know that right now the 1980s is a pretty popular trend, but I'd like to showcase maybe some of the real fashions of the 1980s rather than the television style of the 1980s, the kind of neon, bright pops of color 80s. I want to showcase some more styles and share with you what else was happening during that time. And speaking of fashion, I have a few fashion books to share with you. These were sent to me by a dear friend and longtime supporter of this channel. Thank you, Carolyn, if you are watching. I so appreciate you sending these my way. The first two books are kind of a set. They are from the magazine Lucky, which, if you were into fashion in the mid-aughts into the 2010s, they were a really big deal. It was, I believe, under the Condé Nast umbrella. I could be wrong on that, but basically these books were straight from the New York high fashion machine. They are guides for the ultimate aughts, 2010s fashionable lady. And this was so interesting, going through it and being reminded of some of the styles that were so popular when I was a teenager. Some things I definitely see coming back in fashion. Some things I don't think ever will come back in fashion. It was quite a trip down memory lane looking through these books. I don't know if I will make a video specifically about these books, but I may use them in the future for videos about aughts and tens styles. As time goes on, obviously, those will become historic fashion one day, and it's important to preserve as much documentation on those styles as possible, because if we don't, then we will be, doing our posterity a disservice. Carolyn also sent a true vintage book from the 1960s called Always Ask a Man, Arlene Dahl's Key to Femininity. And this is basically a health, beauty, glamour book, if you will. Frankly, I do not think Arlene Dahl had much to do with writing this book. Like so many celebrity endorsed products, I think she just wrote the foreword and they just slapped her name on a book that was written by someone else. In addition to that, the unique thing about this book is that they claim they interviewed a bunch of male stars and asked them what the key to femininity was. Asking men the key to femininity seems to be a bit of an oxymoron. Being rather blunt, I don't think that any of them really knew the key to femininity. I know I have never had to ask a man how to be feminine. This was definitely an interesting thing to flip through and to see some of the opinions and some of the recipes and beauty tips are fantastic, wonderful, but some of them are just absolutely wild ideas. So I may have to read through this at some point in time. If you want to see things that are contained in these pages, I will definitely make a video about it. Leave me a comment down below if you want to ask a man the key to femininity, and we will discover that together. finally, I found 2 new pieces. I so rarely buy brand new clothing, but I did find 2 brand new pieces. This first piece is a black jumpsuit that I found on Amazon. It is a black jumpsuit with a cowl neck, bit of a V at the back, and then of course nice wide legs on the trouser part. It does have pockets, which is nice. A bit of an elasticated waist, but it also has a tie to go around the middle. I bought this after spending so many hours researching 1920s and 30s beach pajamas, but I'm not a bright, colorful person. I like a nice print every now and then, or a beautiful like blue color or a green color. So I found this and basically it's my kind of take on summer wear and it's my kind of take on the beach pajama trend of the 1920s and 30s. So my last piece is a summer dress, and this one has a little bit of a story with it. I found this dress on H&M's website, and I kept coming back to it, and I had the tab open for like 2 weeks. Then I found out that my family was going to go to the mall, so I thought, you know what? This might be an opportunity for me to see the dress in person, and I'll make my final decision there. Ended up going to the mall and finding an H&M there, and they had this dress. So I picked it up, tried it on, and it fit perfectly. And it's so rare for clothing to fit me perfectly straight off the rack. I always have to get them tailored in. Take it up to the till, purchase it, and I'm thinking, I don't remember it being that price. So I go back online after I get home, and sure enough, this dress would have cost me more purchasing it online than it was in the store. So not only does this dress make me feel like $1 million, I did not have to spend extra money to get what is now my favorite summer dress. And that is everything I have purchased or been generously sent over the past few months. Also, remember to check out Vivaia Shoes if you are in the market for some new shoes for the autumn and winter months. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. To help keep my channel going, join my YouTube membership community to gain access to special perks and exclusive content, all while giving my channel financial support. Thank you so much for watching.